Hey guys, Tiffany with another video, and as you guys saw in the title, this is going to be a dupe video. I'm super excited because I feel like I haven't done a dupe video in a really long time. I used to do them all the time. Whenever like a dupe palette would come out, a dupe mascara, a dupe lipstick, I used to do those all the time, and I feel like I really need to start getting back to doing dupes. I know there are some people who are not down with companies duping other people's products, and if you feel that way, this video is clearly not for you. So sus, I'll give you a few seconds. You can go ahead and exit out. Please do not hit the dislike button on your way out. But I do realize that some people are not okay with dupe palettes. I'm not one of those people. Y'all know how I feel about saving a little coin, okay? If I can save a little change and put it towards something else, I'm all about that life. So I have a dupe palette to show you guys. I'm excited. No more talking. Let's get started. So we are going to be talking about the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry So the palette that I'm going to be showing you guys a dupe for is the Anastasia. What? So the palette that guess who can't talk today. So the palette that I'm going to be showing you guys a dupe for is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, which looks like this right here. Here are what the eyeshadows look like on the inside, and the palette does come with a brush. It comes with 16 eyeshadows. There is a mixture of matte shades and your shimmery slash metallic shades. I think the palette will run you about $45, which is typical for Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I have majority of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I really do like the formula. I feel like Anastasia usually doesn't disappoint when it comes to her palette. She usually gives us some really great quality. But the palette that I'm going to be showing you guys, and we're going to be finding out if it's a dupe or not, is from Alter Ego, and this is their Temptress palette. So here's the packaging for that. This palette also comes with a really nice size mirror, and then here are what the shades look like on the inside. You also get 16 eyeshadows for this. There is a mixture of shimmer and slash metallic and matte shades. This palette is going to run you $16, which clearly is significantly cheaper than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. I also have a discount code. You guys can use it or not use it. It will save you 15% off. And they are also offering a special right now where if you buy the palette, you get their 2 brushes. I did receive the palette from the company, and they did send me their brushes as well. So here are what the 2 brushes that I got. I'm not sure if it's the same brushes. They don't come with any names on it, just the company name, which is Alter Ego. This brush right here was a little big for me, so I ended up just using it as like a nose contour brush. And honestly, it's perfect for my nose, so I really like that. If you have a bigger lid space, this may be something you can use on the eye, but y'all know I have little baby lids. And then they also sent this brush, which just looks like a blending brush or like a crease brush. I did not use it today, but it kind of reminds me of the Morphe brushes, just something to kind of get up in there and blend it out. So again, they are running a special where you get their 2 brushes, and like I said, I also have a 15% off discount code, and I mean, who doesn't like to save a little coin? So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and jump into the tutorial. I went ahead and used the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette on one eye, and then I came and applied the Alter Ego Temptress palette on another. We are gonna get into swatches, and then I will definitely come back and let you guys know my thoughts on whether I think this palette is a dupe or not. So I've already done this eye with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, and now I'm just going to use the corresponding colors from the Temptress palette. So I'm going to first start off with my Morphe M441 brush, and I'm going to take the shade Bloom, which is this shade right here. I'm going to kind of pack that shade on and then blend it out. So there is definitely some fallout, but I also experienced some fallout with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette as well. So I'm not too worried about it. Seems to be some good pigmentation. I don't think this shade is as pigmented as the one from the Anastasia Beverly Hills. Just that one was kind of like pigmented with first application. So although there is some nice color payoff, I can kind of tell initially that this shade is not as pigmented, and I'm probably going to have to build it up a little more. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like that shade actually built up really nicely. The next shade I'm going to use from the palette is After Hours, and I'm going to use my Morphe M441 brush. And the one thing I learned about this shade, the corresponding shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills, that shade was like super pigmented. And this shade seems to be just as pigmented as that one. So I'm definitely seeing the same pigmentation from this shade as I was with the one from the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's definitely like pigmented as soon as you apply it. So I think instead of kind of packing this shade on, even with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, you want to kind of apply a little and then just go into blending until you get the desired consistency that you want. Because this is a super pigmented shade. So taking this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, just one of the brushes from one of their palettes, I am just going to blend that out. Again, that particular shade, which is called After Hours, really pigmented. So I'm just going to blend that out. And then I'm now going to go into, the black, which is called Stiletto. This black shade right here. I'm going to take my Morphe M506 brush. I love this brush to apply any colors to my outer V. You guys know I don't have like a lot of lid space to work with, and my eyes are pretty small, but I feel like this brush always does such a good job whenever I'm applying colors to my outer V. So it's definitely one of my favorites, and I'm just going to take that black and apply it to the outer portion of my eye, kind of blending it in a little bit on my lid. But this is going to be a cut crease look, so of course all of that is going to be cleaned up in the end. But just to add a little bit more darkness to the outer V, I'm going to cut my crease off camera, just using my favorite concealer for cut creases, which is the NARS Matte Concealer. And then I'll come back and apply the lid shades. So now for the lid, I am going to take these two shades right here, which are, no I'm not. Which shades did I point to? Nope, I'm gonna take this shade and this shade. I think I pointed to those two, but I'm actually gonna take these two shades. That is Guilt and Champagne. And I'm going to mix those two shades together. I'm using my Morphe M124. It's just like a flat shader brush. And that's what I'm going to use on my lid. If you guys hear all that noise upstairs, you already know that I have elephants for neighbors, which is why I've really been enjoying filming the car videos, because I don't have to worry about that. Because that noise is really frustrating. I have no idea what they're doing up there, but it's really getting on my nerves. And I'm just going to take a brush. I'm going to take that same brush I used with the black on it. I'm not going to apply any product, but I'm just going to blend out that outer edge, because I don't like it looking harsh. I want it to look like it's actually fading, like it's like fading into each other. So if I was to compare both palettes from like all angles and first starting with packaging, I definitely feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills like one-upped the Alter Ego palette. I know some people thought the packaging for this one was a little cheesy, but I kind of like the glitter. It's still that cardboard type of packaging that we're used to from Anastasia Beverly Hills. But I don't know, it just has this really nice glitter all over it, and I just think it's really pretty. I do think that the Alter Ego Temptress palette, oh, something is in my eye. Now I do think that the Temptress palette comes with like really sleek packaging. It's also cardboard, but I don't know, I just think Anastasia Beverly Hills really took one home. The mirrors in both palettes are nice, but just as far as the outer packaging, it would have to go to Anastasia Beverly Hills for me. And then when you actually get into the eyeshadows, I definitely feel like the eyeshadows in this palette are spot on. There is like 2 misses for me, and definitely when you see the swatches I think you can kind of tell, but the shade right here, which is called Birch in the Anastasia palette, and then you have the shade here which is called Lust and the Temptress. To me they do look different. I feel like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one just comes off a little warmer. They're both cool tone eyeshadows, so I know it's probably weird to say this cool tone shadow comes off warmer, but for whatever reason it pulls a little bit more warm to me. And then you have that coral shade which is called Bloom in the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Blush in the Temptress. I feel like the one in the ABH palette just had a lot more pigmentation. I felt like you had to build up the one in the Alter Ego, and it does build up nicely, but I feel like at just a first off application there was definitely a lot more pigmentation when it came to the one from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. But then I feel like as far as the rest of the eyeshadows go, they are definite dupes. I think this was a really good duplication of this palette. To me, I feel like everything else was just really spot on. The shimmers were spot on. They had that really nice metallicized feel. I feel like you did not have to wet them to get really great pigmentation, and they just worked. I feel like the Black Noir palette in the Anastasia Beverly Hills is one of my favorite blacks, and I kind of was thinking that the one from the Temptress palette was not gonna live up to the same hype, but it pulled off really nicely. So overall I was really impressed. I don't know, I think this is a good one. For those of you who are okay with using a dupe palette, for those of you who do not mind saving a little bit of coin, I don't think that you'll be disappointed when it comes to the Alter Ego Temptress palette. I think this is actually their first palette release, and I'm definitely not mad at it because I think it just performed really well. I feel like even when you look at my eyes, like you really can't tell much of a difference between the two. Like they both look really good. The pigmentation was there for both of them, and it didn't take a lot of work to get to that. So overall I'm really happy. Do I think it's a dupe or not? It's definitely a dupe. I will leave the information down below to the Alter Ego website. Again, like I said, you guys are free to check it out. If you're interested in the palette, you are free to use my discount code, but it's not something I'm going to force down your throat, so you don't have to if you do not want to. And I know for a fact as of right now they are offering the brushes as kind of like a package deal, but they're for free. But I don't know how long that is going to run, but I'll try to have as much information as I can down below. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Let me know what you think of the look I created, and anything else you guys want to tell me down below in the description box. As always, thank you guys so much for continuing to rock with me here on my channel, and until next time, bye YouTube.